What happens when big dreams and bad decisions collide? You get engines so terrible they make grown men cry and mechanics rich. Yep, we're diving into the worst engines ever made, and some of these are so bad they should have come with a warning label. Let's get right into it. 10. The Nissan 3.5-liter VQ35DE 2000s. Nissan's VQ series of engines is generally well regarded, but the 3.5-liter VQ35 used in popular models like the 350Z and Altima had its share of problems. While the engine was praised for its smoothness and performance, it was also known for its oil consumption issues and timing chain failures. The VQ35DE's oil consumption problems were particularly frustrating for owners. Many reported that the engine burned through oil at a rapid rate, leading to low oil levels and potential engine damage if not monitored closely. The timing chain system was another weak point, with premature wear and failure being common issues. While the VQ35DE wasn't a complete disaster, its reliability problems were significant enough to earn it a spot on this list. For an engine that was otherwise well designed, these flaws were a disappointment for Nissan enthusiasts. But while Nissan's issues stemmed from poor oil management and timing chain failures, Chevrolet's problem was even more fundamental. 9. The Chevrolet Vega 2300, 1971 to 1977. The Chevrolet Vega was meant to be a game-changer. It was a compact car designed to compete with fuel-efficient imports like the Toyota Corolla and Datsun 510. At the heart of the Vega was the 2.3-liter inline-4 engine, codenamed the 2300. On paper, it seemed like a solid choice for a small, economical car, but in reality, it was a nightmare for owners. The Vega 2300 engine was plagued with design flaws from the start. One of the biggest issues was its aluminum block with cast-iron cylinder liners. The materials were prone to expanding at different rates under heat, causing the liners to shift and leading to coolant leaks and overheating. The engine also suffered from poor durability, with many units failing before reaching 50,000 miles. To make matters worse, the carburetor and ignition systems were unreliable, leading to poor performance and frequent breakdowns. The Vega's engine problems were so severe that they tarnished Chevrolet's reputation and contributed to the decline of American compact cars in the 1970s. The Vega itself became a symbol of poor quality, and the 2300 engine is remembered as one of the worst ever made. Wonder what efforts were taken to rebrand and fix the damage to Vega's reputation. In 1975, Chevrolet put the upgraded 1976 Vega through a rigorous endurance test, driving 180,000 miles in just 60 days to showcase the improved reliability of the new Durabuilt 140 engine. They also rebranded the engine, incorporating features like hydraulic lifters and a redesigned cylinder head to address past reliability concerns. Despite these efforts, the damage to Vega's reputation was already done. While the Vega's engine woes were a blow to Chevrolet's reputation, Ford's 6.4-liter Power-Stroke diesel proved that even heavy-duty trucks weren't immune to major engineering missteps. 8. The Ford 6.4-liter Power-Stroke diesel, 2008 to 2010. Ford's 6.4-liter Power-Stroke diesel was introduced in 2008 as a replacement for the problematic 6.0-liter Power-Stroke. It was designed to meet stricter emissions standards while delivering strong performance for heavy-duty trucks. Unfortunately, it inherited many of the same issues as its predecessor and introduced new problems of its own. The 6.4-liter Power-Stroke was a twin-turbocharged V8 diesel engine with advanced fuel injection and emissions control systems. While it delivered impressive power and torque, it was plagued with reliability issues. One of the most significant problems was its complex emissions system, which included a diesel particulate filter and exhaust gas recirculation system. These components were prone to clogging and failure, leading to costly repairs. Another major issue was the engine's tendency to develop fuel system problems, including injector failures and high-pressure fuel pump issues. These problems often resulted in catastrophic engine failures, leaving owners with repair bills in the thousands of dollars. The 6.4-liter Power Stroke poor reliability and high maintenance costs earned it a reputation as one of the worst diesel engines ever made. If Ford's diesel troubles frustrated truck owners, Chrysler's 2.7-liter V6 took disappointment to another level, turning everyday commuters into frequent visitors at the repair shop. 7. The Chrysler 2.7-liter V6, 2001 to 2010. Chrysler's 2.7-liter V6 engine was introduced in the early 2000s as a fuel-efficient option for mid-size sedans like the Dodge Intrepid and Chrysler Sebring. However, it quickly gained a reputation for being one of the most unreliable engines ever produced. The 2.7-liter V6 was designed to be lightweight and efficient, but its design had critical flaws. One of the biggest issues was its oiling system, which was prone to sludge buildup. The engine's small oil passages and lack of cooling capacity made it susceptible to overheating, especially in stop-and-go traffic. Over time, sludge would clog the oil passages, leading to engine failure. Another problem was the engine's timing chain system, which was prone to premature wear and failure. When the timing chain failed, it often caused damage to the engine. The 2.7-liter V6's poor reliability and high repair costs made it a nightmare for owners and a black mark on Chrysler's reputation. Speaking of engines that overstayed their welcome, British Leyland's A-Series engine is a prime example of a design that was pushed well beyond its limits. 6. The British Leyland A-Series, 1951 to 2000. The British Leyland A-Series engine is a classic example of an engine that was stretched far beyond its limits. Originally designed in the 1950s for small, lightweight cars like the Mini, the A-Series was a simple and economical inline-four engine. However, as time went on, British Leyland kept modifying and enlarging the engine to power larger and heavier vehicles, leading to significant reliability issues. The A-Series was notorious for its oil leaks, overheating, and poor durability. Its design, which included a 3-bearing crankshaft, was inadequate for the increased power and torque demands placed on it in later years. The engine also suffered from poor manufacturing quality, a common issue with British Leyland products during the 1970s and 1980s. While the A-Series was revolutionary in its early days, its later iterations became a symbol of British Leyland's decline. The engine's inability to adapt to changing demands and its lack of reliability earned it a place on this list. Mini Cooper to the high-performance MG Metro Turbo, the A-Series engine proved its racing pedigree. The turbocharged 1,275 cubic centimeter A+ variant delivered 94 horsepower and even found its place in the British Touring Car Championship, showcasing its durability and competitive edge on the track. But despite its flaws, the A-Series had its racing moments, something Volkswagen's early 1.8T turbo engine couldn't quite claim as it battled reliability nightmares. 5. The Volkswagen 1.8 TEA 888 Generation 1, 2000s. Volkswagen's 1.8T engine was once hailed as a marvel of modern engineering, offering turbocharged performance in a compact and efficient package. However, the first generation of the EA 888 engine, introduced in the early 2000s, was plagued with issues that tarnished its reputation. One of the most significant problems with the 1.8 TEA 888 Gen 1 was its timing chain tensioner. The design was prone to failure, leading to engine damage when the timing chain slipped. Additionally, the engine suffered from oil consumption issues, with many owners reporting that their cars burned through oil at an alarming rate. The 1.8T also had problems with its turbocharger, which was prone to failure due to poor cooling and lubrication. These issues made the engine expensive to maintain and repair, frustrating owners who had expected reliability from a brand like Volkswagen. While later generations of the EA888 addressed many of these problems, the first generation remains a black mark on Volkswagen's record. If Volkswagen struggled with turbo reliability, Cadillac's 864 V8 was proof that not all ambitious fuel-saving technologies were ready for the real world. 4. The Cadillac 864 V8, 1981 to 1982. Cadillac, the luxury arm of General Motors, has always been synonymous with innovation and refinement. But in the early 1980s, they took a gamble that backfired spectacularly. The Cadillac 864 V8 was an ambitious attempt to improve fuel efficiency through cylinder deactivation technology. The idea was simple: deactivate cylinders when full power wasn't needed, reducing fuel consumption. Sounds smart, right? Unfortunately, the execution was anything but. The 864 V8 was a 6.0-liter engine that could switch between 8, 6, or 4 cylinders depending on driving conditions. It was one of the first attempts at cylinder deactivation, a technology that would later become successful in modern engines. However, the 1980s technology wasn't ready for prime time. The engine relied on a complex system of solenoids and valves to deactivate cylinders, and this system was plagued with issues. Drivers reported rough idling, poor performance, and frequent breakdowns. The technology was so poorly understood that even mechanics struggled to repair it. Cadillac's reputation took a hit, and the 864 V8 was discontinued after just 2 years. While the idea was ahead of its time, the execution was a disaster. It serves as a reminder that even the most innovative ideas can fail without proper engineering and testing. Ever heard of a dashboard that constantly reminded drivers of their engine's quirks? The engine came with an MPG Sentinel display showing the number of active cylinders, fuel consumption, and estimated range. While intended to showcase its efficiency, it often ended up drawing attention to the engine's unpredictable behavior instead. And yet, Cadillac's failed experiment wasn't the last time luxury brands made costly mistakes. BMW's N63 twin-turbo V8 continues to give its owners headaches to this day. 3. The BMW N63, 2008 to present. BMW's N63 engine, a 4.4-liter twin-turbocharged V8, was introduced in 2008 as a high-performance engine for models like the 5 Series, 6 Series, and X5. While it delivered impressive power and torque, it quickly gained a reputation for being one of the most problematic engines BMW has ever produced. The N63 was plagued with a host of issues, including excessive oil consumption, turbocharger failures, and cooling system problems. The engine's complex design, which placed the turbochargers inside the V of the engine block, made it prone to overheating and premature wear. Owners also reported issues with the high-pressure fuel pump and valve stem seals, leading to costly repairs. In 2015, BMW acknowledged the problems with the N63 and launched a customer care package to address some of the issues. However, the engine's poor reliability had already damaged BMW's reputation, and it remains a cautionary tale of what can go wrong when performance is prioritized over durability. BMW's N63 may have been a nightmare for owners, but it wasn't the only luxury engine to disappoint. If you think BMW's troubles were bad, wait until you hear about the next one. 2. The Fiat 1.4-liter FIRE, 1980s to 2000. Fiat's 1.4-liter FIRE fully integrated robotized engine was introduced in the 1980s as a modern, fuel-efficient engine for small cars like the Fiat Uno and Punto. While it was praised for its simplicity and low cost, the FIRE engine was also known for its poor durability and reliability. One of the biggest issues with the 1.4-liter Fire was its tendency to develop head gasket failures. The engine's design made it prone to overheating, which would cause the head gasket to fail and lead to coolant leaks. The engine also suffered from oil leaks and poor performance, particularly in later models where emissions controls were added. While the FIRE engine was economical to produce and maintain, its reliability problems made it a headache for owners. It's a reminder that even simple designs can fail if not properly engineered and tested. Recognizing these challenges, Fiat sought to enhance the engine's performance and durability. This led to the introduction of multi-air technology in later versions of the Fire engine, marking a significant leap forward in efficiency and power. This innovation not only improved the Fire engine, but also found its way into other Fiat engines, further refining their performance. 1. The General Motors 5.7-liter diesel VV8, 1978 to 1985. And now, the king of bad ideas, GM's 5.7-liter diesel V8. They took a gasoline engine and thought, let's make it diesel. What could go wrong? Everything. Introduced during the oil crisis of the late 1970s, it was marketed as a fuel-efficient alternative to gasoline engines. However, GM's decision to convert an existing gasoline engine into a diesel proved disastrous. The 5.7-liter diesel V8 was essentially a gasoline engine retrofitted to run on diesel fuel. Diesel engines operate under much higher compression ratios and stresses than gasoline engines, and the gasoline engine's design was simply not robust enough to handle these conditions. The engine block and cylinder heads were prone to cracking, the fuel injection system was poorly designed, and the head bolts were too weak to withstand the pressures of diesel combustion. Owners reported frequent breakdowns, cracked blocks, and blown head gaskets. The engine's reputation for unreliability was so bad that it set back the adoption of diesel engines in the United States for decades. General Motors faced numerous lawsuits and had to spend millions on warranty repairs. The 5.7-liter diesel V8 is a cautionary tale of what happens when cost-cutting and poor engineering collide. And there you have it, the worst engines ever made in automotive history. These engines remind us that even the biggest companies can make monumental mistakes. They serve as cautionary tales, teaching us the importance of proper engineering, thorough testing, and transparency with customers. But what do you think? Do you agree with our list? Or do you have another engine in mind that deserves the title of the worst ever made? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into automotive history, don't forget to subscribe for more stories from the world of cars. Until next time.